this is Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance, and pivot levels, and the Fibonacci's. It is Wednesday, the 16th of June. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, bearish start to the day here. Going to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 42.85 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 41.125 and the 38.2% fib at 41.592. Going to need to see plenty of support, however, for Bitcoin to break back through to 41,000 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and the 38.2% fib to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Bitcoin target 43,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 42.112. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 39.298 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 39,000 levels. Second major support level sits at 38.458. Looking at the MACDs, we have a widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, supporting this early morning pullback. On the EMAs, the 50 is flattening on the 100 and the 200, so need to keep an eye on that for a change of direction. So key through the early part of the day, move through the pivot at 42.85 and move back through to 41,000 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will come into play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, also bearish start. Going to see Ethereum move through the pivot at 2563 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 2620. Support from the broader market is going to be needed to break back through to 2600 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 2640 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ethereum target resistance at the 38.2% fib at 2740 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2697. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 2487 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 2400 levels. Second major support level at 2430 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, no major moves on the bearish histograms through the turn of the day, so no signs of a possible imminent bullish cross, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, the 50 has flattened on the 100 and the 200, so need to keep an eye out for a possible change of direction and a narrowing on the 200 and 100. So key through the early part of the day, move through the pivot at 2563 and back through to 2600 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Litecoin against US dollar, finding early support. Going to need to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 176, however, to take a run at the first major resistance level at 181. Going to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 180s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 181.26 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin target 190s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 185. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the 62% fib at 174 and the first major support level at 171 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid sub 170. Second major support level sits at 167. Looking at the MACDs, we have a narrowing of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, supporting the early upside. On the EMAs, the 50 is also pulling away from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 pulling away from the 200. Bullish signal. So key through the early part of the day, move through the pivot at 176 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will come into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, bearish start. Going to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 8750 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 8935. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.89 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.90166 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ripple's XRP target 0.95 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.9202. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the 62% fib at 0.8573 and the first major support level at 8483 into play. Barring an extended sell on the day, Ripple's XRP should still well clear of sub 0.80 levels. Second major support level at 0.8297 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we have a widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, supporting this late pullback yesterday and early morning pullback. On the EMAs, more significantly, we're seeing the 50 narrow on the 100 and pull back from the 200, also supporting this early downside. So key through the early part of the day would be to move through the pivot 8750 and break back through to 0.89 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that, the support levels will be in play.